at the all-new Gala Chevrolet, our ultimate goal is to make life easier for you. That's why we built our new ultra-modern facility from the ground up with the customer in mind. With 1,000 vehicles in stock, a great variety of pre-owned vehicles of every make and model, a clean, state-of-the-art service department focused on getting you back on the road as quickly as possible, and a sales team devoted to 100% customer satisfaction. All conveniently located in the heart of Albuquerque. We'll see you soon, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Nothing completes a trip downtown like a visit to Lindy's Cafe. You won't find a more relaxing restaurant to unwind at. Located on 5th and Central, proud supporters of Proview Networks, Lindy's strives to be a friendly and welcoming place.
Lindy's, a great place to be seen.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dream Style Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dream Style Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dream Style Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. Leroy Lucero, along with Michael Carlisle, and the newest member of Red Menace TV, the guy we wanted to bring in, Sebastian Noel. Sebastian, welcome to Red Menace TV. We had you on last week as a guest, and talked with Michael and said, let's bring Sebastian in now completely.
Oh, why don't you tell the real story? You guys had a little bet before, whoever wins their argument, you know.
But I won.
Well, no, you didn't. That's the point. Sebastian won, so he chose to join the show.
He won.
Yeah, oh, he won. Absolutely.
So basically what has to happen is I have to get 2 guys to try to come up against me. Come at me, bro. I'm good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
Well, whatever you need to tell yourself, dude.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Sebastian, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Welcome, people. We look forward to having you. Of course, Sebastian, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, what you do, and stuff here on Proview, just so in case anyone doesn't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, just play-by-play here on Proview. Do whatever. We're in the high school scene, fully immersed. We're towards the end of the baseball season right now. We have gladiators, soul soccer, the whole 9 yards.
Is there one that you prefer? Gladiator, soul, high school, basketball, football, baseball? Do you do the dancing too?
I have done a cheer and drill. Yes.
How do you call that?
Well,
I mean, can you throw something?
yes, I
always wondered, how do you call? It's like, wow, look at her kicks.
No, so I have a great story about that. So, my first year working with Proview, Adam calls me and says, hey, it's cheer and drill time, and Scott Galletti mysteriously gets sick during this time of the year, so I need you to cover it. And I said, okay, well that won't be. I said, I guess whatever you need, man. Because when you're the low guy on the totem pole, you just say yes, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
And so I did it, first year, and then get to hang out with Jason and Alden all day and get paid for it, and it wasn't bad, but I was like, okay, well. Introduce the act, go to commercial, that's it. Well, the second year rolls around, and if Scott Galletti got sick again, go figure.
Oh, imagine that.
Yeah, and so Adam calls me, says, hey, I need you to do cheer and drill again. I said, okay, no problem. This time I just prepared a bullet list of fun facts about mascots, and that was my go-to. So every time a team would come out, I'd say, well, the Don from West Las Vegas, according to Spanish lore, is blah, 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 blah. And that was that.
So is there like a play-by-play?
No, it's like I said, introduce the team. Then my prepared fun. Well, did you know the eagle is a hunting bird that likes to prey on so and so? Here's the girls from El Dorado. Then you zip it, let them perform, and you go to break. It's easy money, Leroy.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. my daughter actually performed with Rio Rancho. Well, we used to call them the Raisinets as a joke, Rhythmettes. And I just remember going to those things every weekend, and the music was loud, and it was like hours and hours and hours of the same old song. Katy Perry was really big back then for dancing, and I think I heard Katy Perry music at least 10 times in the whole hour. So
your daughter probably said the same thing when you would drag her to football games. It's hours and hours and hours.
She loved football. Let me tell you. When we first started the Red Menace, Katrina, my daughter, she was 3 years old, so she loved going. And she can't go as much now because she's in school and trying to get her nursing degree and everything else. But I mean, there was times when I'd pick her up at Taekwondo. Of course, we start tailgating 6 hours before, so she'd have Taekwondo in the morning. I'd pick her up. She'd be changing in the truck as we're driving to the football field to go tailgate and get our football on. She loves football.
And then during the tailgate, she would have her perform, do her little taekwondo
during
moves.
football, she'd just tailgate along with everyone else, sans the, all adult beverages.
Right.
She'd have her soda pops and everything else, and be part of it. Everything. It was always a fun thing. It was always a fun daddy-daughter thing to do. Then of course, girls get older, and then they're not.
Now, did she paint her face too, or just
for
you?
a while she did, but then she got older. I haven't done that in years, man.
You should bring it back. So you'll go out there, you'll wear a big sombrero, you'll wear a jersey, and all that, but you draw the line now at face painting.
Yeah, I think so. It has its season. It's kind of like Galletti getting his seasonal sickness. Okay, so I get my season. That season is past in my life.
Well, here's a question I have, since we're talking about he's outgrown face paint. Right. So I caught Mitt Romney with the jersey over the dress shirt the other night, and so my buddies and we start talking. Well, when's the age where it's officially not okay to wear jerseys anymore, right? The only time I really see grown men still do it is at spring training. I do go to spring training a lot. But when does that work? And is it ever okay to wear a jersey over a dress shirt?
No, never. No. I'm not sure it's okay for a grown man to wear a basketball jersey, unless you're actually on the floor playing.
Right. Well, I was going to say, and we can ask Micah this when he comes on for his part, but for his segment, but guys that wear those, what are they? I can't remember what they're called. Like the Adidas has taken over now, I guess, or Reebok. Mm-hmm. But it used to be like the
tap out.
Yeah, tap out and all that, and it's just like you'd see like
it's like two sizes too small.
Grown men, they're like looking like
which is okay
sausages.
if you're buff. If you're like this, you're
tribal tattoos.
Right. If you're like this, you're looking at two sizes too big for the comfort.
At what point do you no one's buying it, bro?
Well, that reminds me of an old George Carlin bit, none of which the words you could say on this show, but yeah, he had a big bit about the whole tribal tattoos and the.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, does anyone really believe that guy needs a tap out shirt?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Real quick, I'm sorry to hijack the show, but because we're talking about Galetti's, convenient sicknesses.
Seasonal sicknesses.
Right. When he did Lobo football, he had allergy issues, and it would just play havoc with him. So we're on a road trip somewhere, And I introduced him to the neti pot. I'm like, dude, get the car. We're going to Walgreens. We're getting you a neti. Oh, what's a neti pot? Just you fill it up with water and saline. You shake it up. You pour it in one nostril. It comes out there, dude. I might drown. I'm like, just trust me on this. Right. If you don't do it right, I mean.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You know, so we track down a neti pot. He takes it back to the. If you have any problems, call me. And I didn't hear from him the rest of the night, so I'm like, all right, either he's okay or he drowned. I'll find out in the morning. Right. He comes out the next morning. He's a new man. Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't know what a neti pot was. This is fabulous. So then he traveled with his neti pot from then on out.
Well, and he does have allergies. He's allergic to cheer and drill, metro tennis, metro wrestling, and any high school sport below 6A. He's allergic to all those things. So he's allergic to all those things.
That's awesome. Right. That's awesome. So I take it he doesn't travel with the neti pot around town then?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, maybe you should introduce him to the neti pot. Or you could, never mind, I'm not going to go there. Never. I was going to say the lavativa, but I don't think we should be
introduce him to 4A.
So you have cheer and dance coming up soon?
I think that passed already. I didn't get the call. I didn't get the call this year.
But you do have baseball coming up, right? State championship.
Yeah, state championships are right around the corner. Seating and selection, the brackets come out this weekend here on Proview on Sunday.
So you've been watching high school, and that's part of the reasons that we want to bring you in too. Is your all-around knowledge of sports. Is I tend to focus more on Lobo sports, and Michael's he's all-around knowledge too, but not so much in the high school scene.
Right.
Who are some of the teams that people should look for as far as baseball goes?
Well, in the city, La Cueva is always the measuring stick. They always have been. And I think that's the case this year. They play Clovis this weekend, right before the brackets get released. So Clovis probably the second best team in the state. So if I had to pick a top three, it would be La Cueva, Clovis, and Piedra Vista, probably in that order.
Cool. Michael, how was Colorado?
Cold.
Was it?
It was very cold.
While you were out there?
It did.
So did they cancel the game, or
no.
did they play?
No, yeah, I went up to
baseball. You got to play in every
right.
season,
Went up to see the Rockies and Cubs last weekend. Game time temperature on Friday was 40. Saturday it was 38. And yeah, it snowed a good portion of Saturday. We got up Saturday morning, went to Golden, was going to go to the brewery. And the tours were canceled as far as getting on the tour bus, and they take you around and then take you to the brewery. But if you want, you can go over to the brewery and stand in line for the tour. It's only a 2-hour wait. I'm like, it's snowing really hard. It's freezing cold. I think I'll drive back to Denver and go to the aquarium instead.
There you go.
So did that. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, even though it was cold.
Did you have like a little Cubs beanie?
I did.
Did you really?
Yes.
All right, awesome.
Do you think I'm going to be cold?
I don't know. That's what I was going to ask. If
I had a Cubs beanie. I had a blanket. I had gloves.
Were there a lot of Cubs fans out there? Is it kind of like when the Cowboys travel? And
Friday and Saturday, there were more Cub fans there than Rocky fans. I didn't go to Sunday's game, but Sunday was a sellout. It was also 65 that day. Yeah. Go figure. So that evened things out a lot more. But yeah, the first 2 days.
You didn't want to go to this Sunday, or were you?
I was coming back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there were more Cub fans there Friday and Saturday for sure.
Makes sense, right?
I guess.
Rocky's kind of turning into headhunters too.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Chris Bryant Sunday got hit in the head with a pitch. His helmet spun around, did a complete 360. It's crazy.
Well, that series against the Padres.
Yeah.
So they hit 5 Padres, then a Padre throws behind Arenado, and all of a sudden the Rockies are pissed. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Don't they wear the little flap now on the side?
Some players do. Not everybody, but some do. Yeah.
I mean, we should start putting them in pads now, right? Like soccer pads or football pads? I guess soccer pads, all you have is the one on your shin.
Right.
You ever see what some guys wear up to the plate? It's not that far.
I've seen that. They got that full arm thing.
And shin things.
Is that to keep things together, or is it just to protect yourself?
To protect you.
Protect your on-base percentage. That's what it protects. You take one off that front elbow flat, you don't even feel it.
Oh, that's not a bad deal then.
Yeah.
Then you're more than willing to lean into a pitch, right?
A little more, sure.
A little bit more. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and discuss some other things here on Red Menace TV. Cool. I've never been able to.
For opponents is 306. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Smite strike. Yes. Warning track down there by Smith. Here's a swing and a high, deep fly ball straight away center field. It is over the batter's eye and gone. Bicep and the delivery. And a slider swung on and missed.
Going able to make the snap. Guitar at first, and this one from Mang is deep to right. This one, the wind is pushing it back deep, and it's gone. A 2-1 shot for Jared Mang. It looked like a routine pop fly, and the wind just said, no, 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 this one's going, and gone. So Jared Mang, a 2-1 shot for the Lobos, makes it 16-9 here in the bottom of the 8th.
The lead runner now offers 1-2 curveball, outside corner called.
There's a 1-2. That's well hit to left center. Does it have the distance? Yes, it does. Right back where it came from. Garley's going to be able to go to home for one and to first for two. A double play.
Now the outside corner. It's a fastball and it's lined up the middle. Coming hard to it is Merritt. He dives and makes a difficult catch on the backhand.
And Mang's going to put this out to deep left. This one back at the wall, and that's gone. So a
3-2 pitch, swinging a high fly ball to right field, into the wind. It's got a chance. Smith at the track. He's at the wall, and there it goes. Goldsmith, opposite field, 3-run home run.
I want to congratulate our first customers at our brand new facility right here at Gala Chevrolet, the Jose's. And how was your experience?
It was awesome and great.
What'd you end up buying?
We bought a 2018 Chevy Silverado.
And how would you say the experience was overall?
I bought all my cars here at Gala Chevrolet, and we couldn't wait for the new facility open, and all the people really treated us well.
Well, on behalf of Gala Chevrolet, we say thank you, and we'll see you soon right here at Gala Chevrolet.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Hey, New Mexico, come check out the newly remodeled guest rooms at the new Wyndham Albuquerque Hotel and Conference Center, featuring 309 rooms, 30,000 square feet of meeting space. New Mexico's only indoor water park featuring the Wave Runner. 2,200 square foot fitness center with hydro massage chairs. Also enjoy breakfast at our new Manzanita Grill and watch your favorite team play at Altitude Sports Bar and Grill. It's all at Wyndham Albuquerque Hotel and Conference Center.
Carmody Medical provides solutions for your everyday needs. Hot and cold compression wraps provide therapeutic compression for the shoulder, hip, and knee. The therapy wraps are constructed of an insulated outer fabric and a ventilated cotton pocket to protect the body. Elastic belts allow mobility and deliver a gentle, adjustable compression. The reusable therapy packs can be removed from the pouch and placed into the freezer. Contact Jim for more information.
Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV. Leroy Lucero along with Michael Carlisle and Sebastian Noel. Here, we be talking sports. And
I'm just glad you let us come back with a wide shot
with the wide shot.
This time.
I don't want to take all the credit.
But before the show, you were incredibly adamant. We start on me.
That's
you
right.
Come in with a close-up of me. I'll introduce everybody else. I'm like, dude, where's this coming from?
I'm used to that. I work with Adam.
Well,
see, this is a good thing. We get all the blast now. Hey, something that came up this week that's pretty exciting is UNM football. The television schedule came out. 4 games on national television, 2 on the ESPN family, 2 on
CBS Sports.
CBS Sports. Trying to think if we've had that many.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago we had 5, I think, or something.
Yeah, but those came at the end of the season. Once,
True.
You know, so they already, and one of them was a bowl game, I think. Did they count that one?
No.
No. Okay. So, but those were UNM was playing for the conference championship at that, or at least the portion.
The Mountain Division,
Mountain Division Championship, but this time preseason. And isn't it interesting? UNM and Boise has kind of become the go-to game to be on national television on ESPN these days.
Well, pretty much every Boise game is.
That's true.
But the home game, to your point, the home game 2 years ago here was a Friday night game as well.
It was. And so which one?
I think the road game last year was a Thursday night game.
Right. And they're moving the which game is it? The Saturday to Friday? Is that the Boise
That's
game?
the Boise game, yeah.
And that's in Boise?
No, that's here.
That's here. So that's cool. I mean, I think that's good. Any exposure that this team, hopefully they're good enough that they could actually be competitive in these games.
Sure.
I mean, that makes it more fun. I mean, just to go get your butt handed to you, that's not a lot of fun.
No.
or to be on television with a lot of fun. And who knows, maybe Friday night, early in the season.
That's late in the season, though. That's a November game.
Do you think Lobo fans might show up for any of these games?
No.
No, of course not. Well, I crunched some numbers. And I don't have my Karl Rove whiteboard. I did almost bring it. But so, we heard this week that 6.8 million is the number we're in the hole, right, for football?
That's a number they've said because that's right.
So you'd only need about 75,000 more people per game to make that up.
Well,
or Michael, if you wanted to go another route, Leroy, every fan in attendance last year would have had to consume 25 more beers, assuming that UNM makes $3 a pop on those. Yeah, just 25 more beers a person. That's it.
Well, let's be honest. That seems a lot more logical than 75,000 more a game.
Yeah. And, as Dana said in the back, he said, "Well, that's standing room only, Sebastian." Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, if they would, allow me to drink beer in the press box, I would be more than happy to do my part for that 25 more.
Game. And of course, if we cut 6 sports, each sport making each of the coaches making close to $100,000. That's 6 sports. That's $600K right there. Their assistants probably that's another $600K combined. There's $1.2 million right there.
So now it's up to 6 we got to cut. Yeah. Last week it was 4.
That's fine. We only need 16 to be able to stay in the Mountain West Conference. So why not make the cuts?
You know what, though? In 2 weeks, we'll probably see a different number for football.
Yeah, well, and see, that's something that's true story.
I mean,
it might be less or more.
And I hate to keep kicking somebody when they're down or kicking the athletic department when they're down, but I mean, that's the way it is. Oh, no, we found these numbers, so instead it's only 5.2 million.
It's kind of like Easter egg hunting. It's like, oh, look what we found here. Oh, look, there's $5 more here.
Yeah.
Throw that into the kitty.
I want to go to your Easter egg hunts.
Yeah, 5 more. Yeah,
But that island of cutting sports people, that's kind of shrunk over the last week and a half. Because I think you saw a couple of articles come out about schools that have done it, and it totally didn't work, and it backfired. So, and then obviously when that big 6.8 million number comes out, when people start to see it, wow, Lobo football, that's a third of the athletic budget. That island that you're on, it's smaller now of people just saying, "No, we got to cut these," because now people realize, okay, this problem is huge. Cutting a few sports not going to fix it.
So it's not one thing. That's the thing. They can't just do one thing. They're going to have to take little chunks off of it.
It's a combination of things.
Right.
To be fair, it's not uncommon for most schools' athletic budget. The biggest part of it is football. The problem is you don't get the return on investment here. Attendance continues to go down. And winning really hasn't solved that. Now, last year was certainly a down year, but before that, you were back-to-back bowl seasons, a bowl victory, and attendance continues to drop. You're not getting the payoff for more people in the stands, drinking more beer, eating more hot dogs, buying more Lobo gear, paying to park. So it's harder to make that money back.
The thing is, and I think we were kind of discussing this in a roundabout way before, and I don't know if people going to the actual events in all sports is going to rise anytime soon. It seems to be the trend in everything that we're hearing. I mean, we heard it in the NFL. I don't know what the NBA numbers are this year.
They're actually, NBA's up everywhere.
Up?
TV's up, attendance is up.
I'm just talking television. I'm just talking television as opposed to actually going to the sports. I think with the, it was television before, but television's gotten so good now. It's like almost better than being there. And then, of course, now cell phones, I won't even say pads anymore, because pads and laptops seem to be going out of style anymore. It's all about cell phones, and it seems like that's become where everybody's consuming their sports. We joked about this. We were showing, and I bet you, I'd be willing to bet more people watch Lobo baseball on Proview Sports than actually attend the actual games, because people just do that now. I think more people just watch on television than they do live. You tell me, you guys, I know you go to a lot of live sports.
No, look, I think you're right on that. But when realistically you've got, and I don't know off the top of my head what they announced for average attendance last year, but it was around 22,000. Realistically, when you've got anywhere from 12 to 16,000 in the stands, there is still room for growth.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're not that far removed from averaging 30+ thousand a game. I find it hard to believe that half the loyal fan base has just disappeared and doesn't care anymore. But to your point, yeah, all sports will have that challenge. You know, you can sit at home, watch your 60-inch TV in your comfy chair with you know, your favorite beverages that you're not paying $8 for. Make your own food. It is easier, but there's still that live experience. And again, specifically with football, there's still room to grow attendance.
I agree.
You may never get back to what you had at the height of when Rocky was here from an attendance standpoint, but there's room to grow. Now, the question, is it enough to help sustain and offset the hole every year? Because certainly that in and of itself is not how you're getting out of the hole. You're still going to have to make cuts. You're going to have to change the way you do things. But there's room to grow with attendance.
Sure. And Sebastian, there are cuts that they've already talked about other than just the sports. They're not going to hire one of our old friends, Steve TV. He's part of the media thing there. I've been talking to the SID's office there. They let go a lot of people, you know. Well, they didn't. They moved on basically, and they had openings, and they're just not going to fill those openings. That's, you know, I don't know what they get paid, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 here or there. I don't know what the money is, but you know, you start adding up all those spots. Like I said, you cut $1.2 million in coaches' salaries of if you cut 6 sports. You cut, like you talked about last week, maybe some of the fat around Lobo. Football, maybe if you can get rid of, you know, $600,000 to $1 million, you know, now you're talking what, $2 million, $3 million for a year to take down. Now all of a sudden you have a different number that you can work on. It's still not going to take that quick $6 million. There's no way that they're going to get rid of the whole $6 million at once. It's just not going to happen. But you're going to have to start making moves to try to change that. And then here's the other thing: by keeping all those sports. Okay, by not cutting the fat, if you hire all these people, that number just keeps going up.
Right.
The deficit goes up. It doesn't go down. You're not cutting into it. It's just going to continue to go up.
Well, it goes back to my point of adding a body bag game maybe for 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah,
we really didn't get to get into that last week.
Yeah,
but
and I don't disagree. I mean, I do disagree with that as the point, because at that point you're becoming New Mexico State. Or you're basically whoring out your program, is the way I look at it.
Yes and no. And I tend to agree with you on that, but you have to look at the realities as well. Okay, so if you add a second game, you're going to have to get funky with the schedule in order to keep 6 home games every year, because every other year you'd have 3 road games because the Aggie game's on the road every other year. But you could work around that. But let's be honest, you play the second game, you lick your wounds, you take your lumps. That doesn't change your ability to contend in the Mountain West Conference. If you're good enough, you know, regardless of how many body bag games, once you get into conference play, it's all about taking care of business in those games.
Yeah, I mean, I see it, and you know, in my mind, just thinking is like, that's fine. Even if you do the 1 body bag game, you're basically saying we never have the idea that we're ever going to make it to the BCS, be in those talks, because you're going to have that loss.
But you're.
Well, hold on.
I didn't know the Lobos were knocking on the door of the BCS.
No. I'm just saying, you're basically saying we're going to give up that idea completely. Is that really what you want to do? And let's face it, I'll be honest with you as well. I mean, the little attendance that you do have, you're going to kill it anyway, because what's the first thing? Lobo fans aren't savvy enough to figure, oh, we went and got our brains beat in by Oregon, 64-0. Oregon's a pretty good team. Maybe we should, you know, cut them a little slack. It's like, oh, how embarrassing. I'm not going to the games anymore because this team sucks. Oh, no, it's been proven. It's already been shown.
Right, but nobody's going to the games anyway.
Well,
look,
like I said, the few people that are going, I mean, that's part of the cutoff. Let's not, I mean, part of it is Loxley's career here was not very good, and that game was the start of it. But even before that, I mean, every time they go and get their brains beat in by some BCS school away, it's a bad smell. I think a lot of fans steer away.
If no one's going to the game and people have that mindset of, oh, the team sucks, wouldn't it be better just to have $1 million in your coffers and nothing else changes anyway?
Yeah. Because honestly, if that's not the reason for them not to, they'll just come up with something else.
Right. It's New Mexico.
It's too windy. It's too sunny. It's too nice. It's too cold. It's Friday night. It's Saturday night. Well, why isn't this at noon on Saturday? They'll come up, if you don't want to go in the first place, you'll come up with reasons not to go.
So should the basketball team start going on the road? Maybe go get their brains beat in at Duke?
Yeah, why not?
It's a good deal, right?
Well, I don't think they've reached that economic low point of football.
But
or attendance low point.
Right.
Attendance they have.
But if it's good for the athletic department.
Right.
But you know, the Lobos have been, now they don't get like specific game money for that, but they have been in these tournaments where they're playing bigger teams, and that gets them more exposure. But yeah, go play those teams.
I'm not going to make money though.
Sure, no, I know. But yeah, go do that. You know, they played Kansas on a neutral court a couple of years ago. Go play a team like that. Well, what's the worst that happens? You lose? Well, people thought you were going to lose anyway.
So then we're in agreement. Second body bag game, cut 6 sports.
I don't know that we're all in agreement.
No, yeah.
6 sports.
Wait. Why should we go
prevents that?
But why? But let's do it all.
Doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's going to happen.
But it certainly helps.
I mean, look, I understand that there's a short term, and then you have to start looking at long-term goals, right? And certain Olympic sports just don't make any money. I mean, they just don't. They never have. They never will. It's just.
But does that mean they don't have a purpose or a purpose?
No. Absolutely, absolutely, they have a purpose. Mm-hmm. They absolutely do have a purpose. When gymnastics was cut here, there was club gymnastics programs that do pretty well, I think, here in Albuquerque. In fact, we even had a couple of Olympians come out of those club sports. I think club sports and soccer, I think, is spectacular. The rest of the world does it that way. I think we're the only country that does ties in universities with football. Am I correct? Do you think I'm correct in saying that, or am I reaching in that?
No, I mean, I think that's always been the knock on U.S. soccer, is that the model's so different in this country.
Right, and I think that's cost the sport itself in the United States. Even I know you don't like soccer, Michael, but
it's not the job of colleges to change the soccer model. It's the job of pro soccer leagues to change the model, of U.S. soccer to change the model.
So even like baseball, because I know. I mean, how much does minor league baseball change up collegiate baseball? I mean, it doesn't make money. But I mean, is it better to have collegiate baseball or not have collegiate baseball? I mean, does it help or hurt the major league product? I don't know. I'm just trying.
I don't think it hurts.
Yeah, but it doesn't really. I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at. I guess I'm just looking at
not every
everything
baseball
as a
player
whole.
Starts out in rookie ball and then goes to low A and high A and then double A and triple A.
Some win a national title and then
spend a month in the minors and then they're up in the majors. Look. You're not necessarily wrong in any of this if you want to talk about de-emphasizing college athletics and focusing more on the minor league systems, but that's not college's responsibility. That's the pro sports.
Yeah, I agree.
If you want to de-emphasize college football, that's fine, but the NFL has to come up with a minor league system. That's not incumbent upon the colleges.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. We were talking about this, Sebastian, before. It's just like, how is it that the NFL is making so much money, but yet all these colleges are saying they're losing money on college football?
Well, I think one thing where you brought up the in-arena experiences, at the pro level, I think they've been able to stay up with the technology times, and the in-arena experience at the pro level, they've started to realize, hey, we got to have something on the phone that people can watch. I think the ultimate fix for all this is if there's a pay window right there in the arena. If there's gambling, like you can gamble on soccer right in the Premier League. There's a pay window. I think that's the next piece that's coming. But the pro level, they've figured out that, hey, this has to be a fully immersive game day experience because attention span is short. And if it's more beneficial just to stay home, pop a cold one, save some money, enjoy the game, people will do that. But I think that has not not trickle down to colleges because I think the cost would probably be too huge.
True. Some of your bigger colleges, to a certain degree, it has. But to your point, I think you're right. Since we're right here, let's use UNM as an example. What do you get going to a football game in person that you don't get sitting at home watching TV? Frostbite? I mean, no, and again, I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, but I mean, seriously. I mean, other than the game day atmosphere and smelling stale beer and watching people argue in the stands, well, what are you getting at the stadium that you're not getting at home?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. I don't know what the answers are. Do we have a drop dead date yet?
Well, it's July 1st, isn't it?
July 1st?
Yeah.
Okay. I still think it's going to happen before
It'll probably happen
I
before
think
that.
probably in the next couple of weeks. But speaking of drop dead, we got to take a break and let Micah take over the screen here for a little bit. Don't forget about him. By the way, real quick, before I ask, because I did want to ask you this, because I know you go to a lot of MMA events. What's attendance like there?
Anywhere from 13 to 18,000.
Is it full though? I mean, the venue's pretty much full. Yeah. Okay. I was just
the 18 side is pretty close to.
Yeah, because I was having an argument with someone about football attendance and how it's uncivilized. Football's uncivilized sport, and I said the most popular sport right now, going internationally and nationally, seems to be the MMA.
If you go to an MMA event, though, assuming you want to go out early enough, I mean, you're making 3 or 4 days of it. There's open workouts, there's weigh-ins, lots of times there's press conferences before the weigh-ins for upcoming pay-per-views. So, I mean, you're literally making
You need a day to get your tattoo before the event, then you got to wrap it.
You got to go buy your tap out. Exactly. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with the king of tap out, Micah Frankel.
Terry Cosper
That was good.
Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
When I train for American Ninja Warrior, I schedule regular workouts to stay in shape. To keep my car in Ninja Tough shape, I head to a Napa Auto Care Center for regular maintenance and genuine Napa Auto parts. Like brakes and batteries. I trust my Napa Auto Care Center for quality parts and quality service. And with the 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, I drive away with peace of mind every time. Visit AutoCareNM.com to find a location near you.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Hey everyone, Adam Deal here with Proview Networks. Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of Proview Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean. Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. We got a bunch of highlights for you guys this week. There was 3 different MMA events going on throughout the weekend. We'll start off in South Dakota. LFA 37, a pair of title fights, both in the flyweight division. The men's and women's 125-pound belts on the line. Let's get to those highlights. We got a pair of them. First off, DeMarcus Jackson with just a vicious onslaught of rights and lefts. That first right clipped Hamilton Ash behind the ear, and from there on, Jackson just didn't stop punching until the fight was over. That was a devastating finish. I don't have highlights of it, but Sabina Mazo in the co-main event with a tactical striking performance, really putting together combinations, working her long striking, was able to win a unanimous decision against Sin, picking up the LFA women's flyweight title. Now we can head on up to our next highlight from the main event. It was a crazy scramble back and forth in the first round, but in the second round, the wrestling pedigree of Cuban Olympic wrestler Mikael Pettis would be too much for South Dakota State wrestling champion Sid Bice. Eventually, Pettis would win the scrambles, the relentless pressure, and finally start to wear out Bice, getting him in this bad position. 50 unanswered strikes from the mount before the referee would finally see enough, jump in. Bice was pinned down. Not the most overwhelming shots there from Pettis, not the most vicious, but they got the job done. A big win for the former Olympian. Now, we also had UFC action this weekend. The UFC was in Atlantic City, a big card there. Let's get to some highlights. One of the most vicious teep kicks you'll ever see right here. See how Bahadur puts the ball of his foot into the liver of Lujan Changas. Wolf falling down, Changas eats an uppercut. Vicious stuff from Bahadur, who actually spent this camp here at the Jackson Wink Academy. Vicious knockout artist. We can continue through the night and continue with the knockouts. Jab, step in knee. Daniel Hooker on a 3-fight win streak. Dispatches of New Jersey's own Jim Miller, a 20-fight octagon vet who has seen better days. Vicious knockout, 3-fight win streak. Big things in the future of Dan Hooker in the lightweight division. The knockouts didn't stop there, though. They keep on coming. Big right hand from David Branch. Thiago Santos was not expecting the wide shot. Branch, known for throwing straight punches, went to a different tactic in this fight, and it definitely paid dividends. Santos did not see the looping punch coming, and we get the finishing ground and pound there from Branch. He's now 2-1 since returning to the octagon, the former 2-division WSOF champion. That win keeps him in the top 10. Big win for David Branch. We can roll on up now, I believe, to the main event. Kevin Lee rebounds from his loss in the interim title fight to Tony Ferguson with just a vicious grinding performance against Edson Barbosa, putting the Brazilian constantly against the cage and on his back. The Brazilian had his moment right there with a spinning heel kick. Lee doing the chicken dance, but the wrestler would overcome and again secure the takedown. Just a vicious, relentless effort from Lee. We'd make it all the way into the 5th round where the doctor would be called in, and due to cuts over and under the right eye of Barbosa, Lee would get the finish and get the stoppage victory. That was Saturday night on TV. Saturday night, I actually spent my night in Hobbs at Havoc in Hobbs 7, presented by Isidro Castillo's School of Hard Knocks Promotions. We got 90 seconds of highlights to go from that one, so let's go real quick. First off, Daniel Martinez, vicious lead kick, and then the follow-up punch knocks down Dustin Strada, ground and pound for the finish. Right here, Aaron Taylor hurts Andre Mitchell with a big right hand, takes the fight to the ground, gets trapped in the triangle. Taylor doing everything he can to try to fight off the submission, but had to tap. Chase Eminer jumps on the back of Gabriel Casillas and finds the rear naked choke. You had Alex Gavan all night working his takedowns, a brutal performance for the first round against Mateo Cordonero. Cordonero would be more active off his back in the second. In the third round, got the sweep, got the top position, and completes the comeback victory, getting a decision. Co-main event, BJ Hurst, big takedown. Steve Navarro dislocates his shoulder landing. The follow-up ground and pound was academic, 1-0 as an amateur for Hurst. Here's the main event, Furious. You see right here, Derek Pettis gets sent for a ride by Victor Hernandez. A good job of Pettis of not letting his back get flat. He kept trying to roll. Pettis fights to the adverse position, takes the back, and is going to get the rear naked choke finish here in a moment. Beautiful how he throws the legs to the side, delivers that right hand. That's what sets up getting to the back position. Hernandez wanted no more of trying to be underneath Pettis' ground and pound. A fun night there in Hobbs, and once again, it was a local event to help support Team Mia, and if you haven't checked out CageMinds.com, go do it. Team Mia, referee Joel Heda's young daughter going through cancer treatment, so the whole combat sports community has come together and is trying to support the family as they battle cancer. That was last weekend stuff. We have a bunch of stuff coming up this weekend also. Bellator. Saturday night, you have Bellator 198. It's been long awaited. Well, for over a decade now, people have wondered what would happen when Fedor Emelianenko and Frank Mir step into a cage. It's part of the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix. If you hadn't forgotten yet, yes, that is still going on. Two legends collide. Who knows? This could be the last time you see one of them in action. It's a big fight Saturday night on Paramount. You also have Friday night on Access TV, LFA 38 up in Minnesota. Our guest last week, Bevon Lewis, will be in the co-main event still. The main event, Maurice Green challenges Jeff Hughes for the LFA heavyweight title. Now, on the local scene, we have a lot of things coming up. May 12th is the next big date. School of Hard Knocks Promotions will be in Clovis, presenting Chaos in Clovis 2, a night of boxing. Heavyweight main event, Eligio Silva versus Eligio Sena against Eduardo Silva. We also have another boxing event on May 12th, Night of Fury, presented by Holmes Boxing, Antonio Toro Martinez and Gabriel Rodriguez in the main event. Jackson Wink MMA fighters, Steve Mean Machine Garcia, a Bellator vet, and Maurice the Hulk Jackson will be making their professional boxing debuts on the night. And then also we have one more event for May 12th. You can catch some amateur Muay Thai and MMA action at the soccer fields in Edgewood, USAKA sanctioned event. Get out there and check out some amateur action. So May 12th, 3 big events. Just yesterday announced, Jackson Wink Fight Night 3 will be back at his Letter Resort and Casino June 2nd. The main event is a rematch. Josh Montoya, Abel Cullum, the first time they met back in 2010. It was Cullum walking away with a first round submission victory. You can check out the whole press conference at Cage Minds Combat Sports News and go to the YouTube channel, Cage Minds MMA Show, as we have a whole interview going up with Montoya. Both fighters coming back from over a 3-year layoff. 2 weekends later, we're back at his Letter Resort and Casino for the inaugural event of Wrecking Crew Promotions. Fidel the Atrisco Kid Maldonado will be defending his WBC FICAR title, as well as featured fights with his teammates Brian Labala Mendoza and Matthew Diamond Boy Griego as they go for USMBC WBC title belts. And the following weekend, Proview Networks will have Legacy Boxing Promotions Route to Glory 2 Bad Blood, a 2-title fight show where the co-main event will see the Bad Blood portion of the card, really. Mad Max Heyman and Mike Alderete almost got into it in ring when we announced this fight at Route to Glory. The main event, it's been talked about since before I started covering boxing almost. The fans of New Mexico have wanted to see this fight, Christian Cabral versus Josh Pitbull Torres. June 30th, the following weekend, American Fight League is back in Las Cruces at the Las Cruces Convention Center for Southwest Brawl 8. Details on that card still yet to come. The same night, up at Buffalo Thunder, Jackson's MMA Series 25 will be going down. Henry Barahona takes on undefeated native Santa Fe fighter Jess Martinez. Martinez is coming off of a big win submitting Roy Cicito in the main event of Jackson's MMA Series 24. And I finally think that's everything I have to cover this week. It's a busy combat sports plane that we're dealing with. Austin Trout has a fight coming up June 9th. So does Holly Holm. Last thing but not least, before I sign off and we go back to Red Menace TV, want to send special prayers out to the Borg family as Ray Borg's son, Anthony Borg, is dealing with some health complications. So prayers and best wishes go out to the Borg family. More Red Menace TV in just a moment.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet, our ultimate goal is to make life easier for you. That's why we built our new ultra-modern facility from the ground up with the customer in mind. With 1,000 vehicles in stock, a great variety of pre-owned vehicles of every make and model, a clean, state-of-the-art service department focused on getting you back on the road as quickly as possible, and a sales team devoted to 100% customer satisfaction. All conveniently located in the heart of Albuquerque. We'll see you soon, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Nothing completes a trip downtown like a visit to Lindy's Cafe. You won't find a more relaxing restaurant to unwind at. Located on 5th and Central, proud supporters of Proview Networks, Lindy's strives to be a friendly and welcoming place.
Lindy's, a great place to be seen.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
That he wasn't wearing his affliction shirt.
No, but he shot us all really dirty looks when he was.
He
coming
did.
out
He was kind of offended.
Talking about tap out and tribal tats. The hell.
He was thinking back to his days of his youth when he used to rock those shirts. Maybe he can't wear them anymore. I don't know. Maybe can't. Do they still make them? Do you guys still wear them?
You still? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, are they new or are they just like old and ratty?
No, you can still buy new ones.
You know, like, did you ever have like those concert T-shirts like back in the, like Van Halen 1984 and his like 2002 and you're like squeezed into it and there's like holes in the shoulder and stuff.
Well, see, that's the thing. Those shirts don't appeal to me because they're cut small. I want stuff that's cut big.
Yeah.
You know, I want it to flow.
Right, exactly.
I want to be able to breathe.
You got to be able to swim in it a little bit.
Exactly.
I feel you. I'm with you. I'm there. I'm totally there. So what else is going on, fellas? What else we got going on? So we talked about Lobo football getting 4 games on national television. CBS it's not CBS, right? It's like
CBS Sportsnet. It's in pretty much any home. You know, I think I posed this to you a couple of months ago. Every time you go to a friend's house for the next year, check and see whether or not they have CBS Sportsnet. They all do.
Yeah, they do. They do. You just got to find it. That's all.
It's not that hard.
No, it's not.
And those 2 ESPN games, those can drop down to ESPN3, right? Which is probably most likely going to happen.
Well, it depends. That's what Fresno State and I'm trying to think of the other game. San Diego State.
Right.
My guess is at least one of those will be on one of the.
Well, you know, it always
channels.
comes down to at that time. It always comes down to where you at in the standings. I mean,
Sure.
if San Diego State more than likely is going to be near the top there in the Pacific and
the West
or West, whatever.
Mountain West Conference, Mountain Division, West Division. It's not that hard.
So stupid. Just call it East and West and get
truck stop West, truck stop East. I'm a Bill Walton
Hey, San
guy.
Diego State's pretty good, man.
Sure.
If the Lobos can somehow capture magic and are somewhere in the standings, they'd probably keep that on television.
I would think so.
If not, then yeah, you're probably right. Then it probably would drop down to an ESPN3 game or whatever, which hasn't gotten bad either. Now you can watch it. I mean, it used to be you had to be on 5 different. There was I think 5 different cable companies that carried ESPN3, if I'm not mistaken. I think they've kind of expanded on that a little bit, but for a while there, you could only watch it in certain. And it wasn't in Alpha. It wasn't what I had, so I never could watch those games.
You didn't have the good stuff, man.
No, I didn't. I mean, I had AT&T or whatever it's called now. I don't even know. Quest. Is it Quest? I had Quest. They didn't.
You got to get with the times, man.
Well, what do you got?
Comcast.
Oh yeah, but
For
you got yours
internet.
for free, man.
I have to have Comcast. It's the only place that has the Pac-12 network. I'm a UCLA guy.
Pac-12. What do you want to watch that crap?
By the way,
Conference of Champions, Leroy.
By the way,
Yes.
dopes. Protect yourself, protect
Right.
your show. You know what else Comcast has?
Yeah, I know.
Ta-da. Yeah, exactly.
Well, in Rio Rancho, you can't get Comcast, so that's. I mean,
I'd move.
Yeah.
you would. You would.
I'd move in a heartbeat. City of Vision, my rear end.
Come on, now it's the City of Champions now in the state of New Mexico. It's getting there.
Well, that I don't dispute.
Yeah,
City of
okay,
Vision, I'm not so
saying,
sure.
City of Vision, City of Champions.
Yeah, you got to get in a Comcast home. You host a show on Comcast.
I know. What can you do? I mean, we go on YouTube too, so that's where I watch. Actually, I'll be honest with you. We were in class. I took a public speaking class, and she's like, "Oh, well, you have to watch yourself after you do your speech." And I'm like, "Man," I said, "I've been doing this television show on Proview for like close to 6 years now." And I said, "You know, one thing I never do. I never go back and watch myself. I never have. I can't stand it."
I am so disappointed in you.
Really? You go back and watch yourself?
Yeah.
Do you really? I don't. I just, because I'd start picking like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have picked my nose there, or, you know, maybe I shouldn't have scratched my ear, or I had a weird, stupid
How
look on my
much
face.
did that professor have to hate Leroy during that
Oh,
semester?
she hated my guts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She despises me.
What's the over/under on how many times you drop? I do television, lady.
No. I only did it once, and the only reason I did it was because we were supposed to discuss our history in public speaking, and that's the only reason I did. I never said it after that, but it's just like in my mind though.
Yeah,
It's like
she's probably like, "You're a 60-year-old sophomore. Go sit down."
Anyways, just Dean's List one more year. Not that I'm bragging, just another Dean's List. You know, I'll just another chalk that.
There you go.
Dude, you've got 3 times the experience of everybody else in all your classes.
I'm older than the dean.
Speaking of Dean's List,
Yes.
so all those UNM athletes of their sports that you want to cut,
Yes.
they all came together and had a banquet, right?
Great, and you know what? I think school's great, and I think everyone should have an opportunity to try to go there. And I think they get to keep their scholarship once their sport's cut. They don't necessarily cut their scholarships. And since most of them aren't from the state of New Mexico, it doesn't really affect the UNM that much, I don't think. I mean, it doesn't affect the local kids that much. Maybe you're not going to get a scholarship athletically, but you can definitely get one academically.
And Kerr was named the high school or the collegiate
that's awesome.
athlete of the week, track and field.
That's great. Yeah. I think those are really neat things. And if there was a way that we could keep their sport, I'd say let's do it. But unfortunately, the real world, it doesn't happen. And just like everyone else probably here at one time has been laid off or let go, it happens. Might as well learn it when you're young instead of learning it when you're old. I got you guys dumbfounded. I love it. I win. See, 2-on-1. I still win.
That's a terrible reason to cut sports, but I mean, okay, sure.
No, there's only one reason to cut sports. They need money. Speaking of money, we got to go. Show's over. Can you believe it? Hour went by like that.
Does that mean it's time to get our money? You said speaking of money.
Hold on, let me see what I got. Yeah, there ain't going to be much in there.
Well, we're going to have a talk.
Let's talk about that.